Oh, there's a COVID haircut. Right, so after living in this motorhome for a year, moving out of it in October last year, end of October, it's time to get it ready for sale. And we're going to start by pulling out all the dodgy wiring that I put in it. There's my 800 watt pure sine wave inverter. Move that to the side. Now it is. Pull this wiring loom. Came from next to the kitchen in the motorhome. Through the U-shaped sofa. It was attached to the pipe for the air blower. And then it went into the wardrobe, up the wardrobe, back out to the charge controller. And this is how I ran my solar system through here. But the motorhome's going at some point, and today's job is to pull out all the electronics and wiring that I'd done. There's about 8 metres here. So there's that. Right, so this is where I had my batteries. There's the wiring loom I pulled out. They're the spaces that kept the inverter off the wall, give it a bit of good airflow. USB 12 volt socket. The secondary charge controller went to a switch that ran the CCTV that was up there. That's all down. Cameras came down last week. The charge controller was up there with those 12 volt USB ports. So I'm going to put this 12 volt socket over the hole there to hide the hole that I made for my wires, as you do. Little holes like this is where the switch was for CCTV. I'll fill that, or blanket, or we'll find something for that. And all we're going to do now is remove this lead, which goes to the fridge. So this is fed all the way through the kitchen to there. So I've got to disconnect my wire and then reconnect up the alternator. It's just a block connector on top of the fridge, but to get to it I've got to take out the bottom shelf of that cupboard there. We'll do that in a minute anyway and show you. Yeah, just got to take this shelf out, and the block connector's just in there. The old microwave is ready to go back in here. Well, not the old one, it's quite a decent microwave combi oven. I'm going to keep the gas one. I put this in here because it's portable and I can use it camping. So I'm going to put the big power juicy microwave oven back in here that came with it. Hot water, all that still works. The gas is off at the moment. The boiler's just clicked. Right, but that's my job for today. Is to strip all the wires. Look at it. So far. This was CCTV loom, main harness, inverter harness, and this was all secondary CCTV. Power lead there for the monitor. Yeah, so all that's coming out. I had a 12 volt socket up here, but I've put a USB port in. That's on Motorhome Live. Just thought it'd be more handy for the future owner. Exhaust turned up yesterday. 4 new exhaust is in the trailer. That's going on in a few days, and I've got to order some bearings, front wheel bearings, get them on, get the exhaust on, get it booked for an MOT. Oh, and de-picture it. I've got all these pictures to take off it too. Oh, freaking everywhere. With all my adventures. Lots to do. There we go. 10 amp wire, 5 amp fuse, 12 volt socket. It's wired to the motorhome battery. Do this. Should have brought a tripod out really. There you go, all screwed on. Even got the farewell card still for I left work. So 12 volt socket facing down so nothing can fall in it. So if anyone wants to put a TV up here or a laptop, there's a 12 volt socket, small inverter to run a notebook or Kindle or something. Right, let's get on, lots to do. Right, just replaced the 6 screws from the little cupboard under the sink, cutlery drawer cupboard thing. And this doesn't come out. It's a service hatch, service panel. So you have to prop it open with a screwdriver. Preferably not the one that you're going to use. Try pliers. Absolute pain in the neck. So there's the cover I never put back on last time. There's the block connector. My wires. Shut up. My wires on there. So I've got to disconnect my wires. And then remove that wire that goes all the way down there, down the bottom of there, and into that cupboard. And that had it with a big pile of wires I've got already. Right, they're disconnected, and I seem to be making more mess than progress. I'll have to pull everything out. Now hopefully, why won't they come out? The oven's out. Yes, from there. Ah, I think there's something in the cupboard at the bottom, probably wedged on it. My home's not been used for months. It's just been a dumping ground, I should say. We've just been dumping stuff in here, mainly my camping gear. My little box of cleaning stuff. Cake tin. I need to give that back to my mother ages ago. There's the rest of that wire. Oh! Freaking hell's that caught up on? Ah! There's a block connector on it. That's why I wouldn't come for the hole. Don't know what's in the shop. Add that to the pile of wires. Try this again. Yeah. Best thing I've ever bought. Never actually owned it while living in the motorhome. I just use it now for radios. Well, I have started the motorhome 3rd time. Obviously with it being stood, it just keeps going flat. And the motorhome was completely flat, as you saw. Wouldn't even turn. Still got 4 bars left. Moment of truth. Just spent about 20 minutes untangling the hookup lead, and that is one hell of a long lead. It does not need to be that long. Luckily it comes, like, the adapter's shorter, so if you park next to the hookup, that's fine. So now the motorhome's all back to normal. Battery charger, turn that on. That probably just generally stay on anyway, at least the light's on. And oh, the green light's on, 220. So we are now on mains. Battery's full. The motorhome battery under the driver's seat is charging. I get interference now. It didn't do that a minute ago on the radio. So battery's full. It was on 1 bar. Can't see for the light. Pump's working. Turn this off. Yeah, there goes the interference off the so the battery charger causes interference with the radios. Lights, and the fridge also works on mains. Yay. Just got a lot of cleaning to do. That all works. That's the hot water. Parked on a slope. You can just hear that going into the tank underneath. Right, I can close all this up now. No, it works. Let's try and make this so you can see me. That's better. Right, so that's it for today anyway. So the wires ripped out, everything back to standard, apart from the USB and the 12-volt socket. I've got an absolute, I don't even know the word, diabolical amount of random bits of wire now left over. Most people do these vlogs and videos about converting a van life, you know, moving into a van, living in a motorhome. But I like to do things different. Still got my COVID haircut. Yeah, so today was ripping out all the wires and the solar system and that. And next I think we'll do a deep clean, exhaust. For the MOT, it needs an exhaust because there's a little hole in the back box. I'll put the whole new system on. There's a bit of play on the front bearings, so I'm replacing them. And the only bit of rust on the vehicle is the cross member at the front. The cross member comes off and goes on, just bolts on and off. They're known for going, but the only bit of rust, the bodywork and the chassis on this is clean as a whistle for 21, 22, 20 something year old vehicle. So I'm going to get, well, so it's about the size of a 10-pence piece, or 5-pence piece, I can't remember now. Going to get that welded up and then sell it. There's not been used anymore. We move out October. Yeah, so yeah, instead of making these videos of moving into a van, I'm going to make the videos of turning a van, the livable van, back into a weekend mobile. Right, we'll catch you on the next video. Where we'll be doing the exhaust, bearing, welding, or we don't know what. We'll see you then.